I'm in the back of a London taxi taking a look at Huawei's new foldable Mate XS. Let's see what makes this phone particularly cool. So you're joining me as I'm on my way to Holborn in the centre of London. Now, I wanted to take this phone out and about onto the streets of London, spend a little bit of time using it, see what it's actually like to use. Now, physically, this looks basically the same as the Mate X. Now, we saw that a few months ago out in Paris, and it was a really nice phone. I really like the way that the screen folds back on itself, as opposed to other foldables like Samsung's Galaxy Fold, where the screen folds closed in on itself. So what's different with the Mate XS? Why does it earn that extra S moniker? Well, it's difficult to say. There's not actually a whole lot that's been updated here over its predecessor. As you can see, it's basically the same looking phone. It's got its 8-inch tablet size screen when it's in its unfolded mode, and it folds back around on itself into its 6.7-inch phone size when it's closed up. Now, that's one of the things that I like most about this phone, is that when you're actually out and about, you've got a full-size phone still, and you can use it one-handed. So what actually is different here then? Well, it's a small list, but Huawei says it's quite an important list, so let's go through it. In terms of the design, no, not a lot has changed. It looks very much identical. We've still got this grippy bit here, which I like, but the hinge has had some updates. If we look closely at this top edge, before you could see a lot of the inner workings of that hinge. I quite liked it. It had a bit of an industrial look, but this new version is sort of capped on both ends. Now that should help keep the internal cogs and whatnot much safer from any kind of dust or dirt or general debris that might get in, and over time that could degrade your folding system. Obviously, this is very early days. I've had this in my hands for all of half an hour, so difficult to say if this is a better solution, but good to know that they're at least thinking about the longevity of a phone. Inside, it's got Huawei's latest processor. It's the Kirin 990 chip. Now, obviously, we expect performance upgrade, maybe even a little bit of a battery life boost, but one of the big things that this offers is 5G functionality. Now, of course, that does depend on where you are, but 5G is, of course, something that we're seeing on a lot of high-end flagship phones, so it's probably good that this has got it. Now, Huawei did make a point about saying that its 5G chip is not a separate unit to the processor. It's all built in to the Kirin 990 chip. Now, why is that important, you might ask? Well, one big reason, and that's battery life. If you're not running two separate things, a processor and a 5G chip, then you are not using as much power. So the idea is that it can do everything in one much more efficiently and hopefully get a lot more battery life. I used the Mate X for quite a while in Paris, and I really did like the way it folds, and I expect to feel pretty much the same about this one because it is basically the same device with just a few little tweaks under the hood. We're currently somewhere around Barbican in East London, so we've got a little way to get to Holborn, but when we do get there, we're going to have a little wander around, get some food maybe, take some photos, and actually see what this thing is like to use outside in the real world. Great. Cheers, mate. This is a special Tom Kerridge pie. That's good. That's good pie. I finished my pie, but it's in a cool area, so I want to try and use those cameras, do a bit of photography around here, maybe some of the interesting buildings, maybe even some nice street scenes that would look cool. Have a look around and see what I can get with it. So we do have the same camera setup from the Mate X, and that's got a standard zoom lens, it's got super wide, and it's got a telephoto. So you've got some options in how you want to compose a shot when you're walking around. For example, I want to get this nice Sicilian arch up here. The standard 1x lens only just about gets it in. So if we go wide, then suddenly we get a lot more of that. We get the building coming in here. It just looks a lot better. Okay, now I feel it's starting to rain. It's bad news because this one, like the Mate X before it, it's no waterproofing at all. So I am going to put it away and see how much it keeps on raining. Well, the rain might be stopping play on my general photo shoot, but I can at least snap a selfie of me looking miserable, sheltering from the rain. And with the Mate XS, just like with the Mate X before, you use the main camera as your selfie camera. In fact, you just flip it over and you get your selfie camera with a little view here. Means you can go big sad face as I try and stay dry. But that might just be everything that we can do while it continues to chuck it down with rain. So the rain outside was a bit disappointing, but I have come back to CNET Towers to shelter, and I did spend some time getting a few more shots around the office just to see what this camera can do. But it also gave me some more time to think about the form factor of this folding phone and what it's really like to use, and more importantly, how it compares to another recent foldable, Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip that I have here. Now, obviously when closed, it's evident that these are two very, very different devices. One of them is a small little square, the other one remains a full-sized phone, and that's exactly why I still think that Huawei's Mate XS form factor is the most sensible way of producing a folding device. Not only do you get a full big phone to use when you're out and about, but you then get the secondary mode of it being a tablet. Now, Samsung Z Flip, yes, it's a much neater little device, but it's just a phone. It's only one device. There's no secondary functionality. It doesn't fold into a larger screen to let you do other tasks when you're out and about. It's just a phone, which might be a little bit more easy to put into your jeans. Now, that might be absolutely fine if that's what you want, basically a big phone which is easier to store, but at £1,300 you're paying a lot of extra money just to have a slightly more compact phone, which of course does bring me on to the actual price of this thing, and that's where things get a little bit more interesting, because unlike the Mate X, the Mate XS is going to go on sale outside of China, including here in the UK. It means it's actually going to be one of the phones that you can go and buy. Now, Huawei hasn't said exactly how much this is going to be yet, but it did say to me that it's going to be roughly what they expected the previous Mate X to be. So in the UK, it's going to be somewhere around £2,200, which, yes, that is an absolutely astonishingly huge amount of money to pay for a phone, but tech that's new like this always comes with quite the premium price tag, and almost certainly with future revisions, that price will start to come down. But even so, £2,200 is quite a lot of money, particularly as you don't have the full suite of Google Play Store services here. But with that money, you do also get the latest technology. There's 5G on board, an amazing array of cameras, and it's really, really powerful as well. Whereas I have found with the Z Flip that it's got a very pared down camera and it doesn't really impress so much. So you're getting at least a full, fat superphone experience for your money. On the other hand, I suppose it is a little disappointing that so little has changed in the year since they first launched the Mate X. Maybe Huawei could have experimented with a slightly different design as well. But when we first saw this phone when it launched last year, it was the only foldable around, and now we've got Motorola doing one, Samsung has got two, and things are getting a lot more interesting. So I was thinking, is this still the form factor that I want the most? And I have to say, it definitely is. It's the one I can imagine myself using the most on a daily basis, still being able to use it as my main phone, and then when I'm traveling, on the bus, on the tube, or just sitting in bed reading a book, like this is how I would want to use that larger screen. It just makes the most sense to me. But this has just been a very, very early look at the updated Mate XS, and I'm looking forward to getting one in my hands, hopefully permanently, so I can spend some real time with it and see how this actually puts up with day-to-day use. Do, of course, keep your eye on CNET for a lot more around this phone and all the other foldables that we've got at the moment.